Hello and welcome. Today you are with Tegan and Megan, all the way in Australia. Megan is just such an incredible woman. She's absolutely hilarious. Her content is the most funniest thing I've watched in a very, very long time. She advocates mental health through humour and she does it exceptionally well. We have a very girly, a beautiful conversation. We talk about the transformations that her clients have been on and how she really notices when somebody feels comfortable wearing something and when they don't. And then we also upgrade my Australian. And you can learn too. I think that this was the most phenomenal video to just showcase how two women who have never met each other on opposite sides of the world can just come together, have such an amazing conversation for about an hour, and just thrive off energy with each other. Megan, please can you tell us all about you, your amazing, hilarious content, how it started, and what you're doing right now, where do you want to go?
Well, I'll give you the short version to save because it's quite a long story, but like the long story short version. Obviously, my name's Meg. I live in the Gold Coast, on the Gold Coast in Australia, and I am primarily a photographer slash I'm primarily a product photographer, like commercial product photographer, but I do a lot of business branding photography as well. And the Instagram side of things, what happened was when Reels came out, this was probably pre-COVID. So COVID is like set a lot of things, blew a lot of people up because TikTok just become a thing. Because when I started, and probably when a lot of other people started, TikTok or Reels weren't a thing. There was videos and stuff, but it wasn't like it was. So I was doing all these photography reels, right? And I was like, I want to try tap into reels. I started doing photography reels and just doing like cheeky ones and just trying to still make them a little bit funny, like a little bit more of my personality. And then I did one, and then it just just blew up. It just went like semi-viral, and then it got up to like millions and millions and millions of views. And then I started getting all these followers. I was like, what? And this is even before people share. Now you go into someone's reel and you've seen how many times they've shared it. But this, you go back to my old reels that got hundreds of thousands of likes or whatever views as well. They only got shared like 20 times. That's back. It's so crazy how people didn't share them back then. I've only recently figured that, like learned that. So don't mind me. I'm in I'm in my wardrobe room.
I love the wardrobe.
This is my home office vibe. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep this going. I'm gonna keep doing funny reels, but I'll still keep dabbling in the photography stuff as well with the reels. I was still shooting then. I was working full time actually for someone else. I wasn't actually
As a photographer, working
no,
full time?
no. I was doing social media stuff, mainly like accounts. I've done accounting and bookkeeping for like 10 years. So I was doing that as well as some web stuff, like design, sort of stuff. And then I quit my job. I was like, I know, to go full time as a photographer because I was already in the game and I was already kind of like, no, you know what, I can do this. I can do this full time, I reckon, for sure.
Love that.
So I
Did
quit
you
my
have like a
job.
financial strategy to leave?
No, no, no. So my partner Josh, I told him, I said, oh, I just don't want to work for these people I'm
Yeah.
working for anymore. I really want to do my own thing. And he was so supportive. Like he was just so supportive. So he's like, just fucking do it. If you're gonna just quit now. And like it'll be right. Like she'll be right, you know, and I can always get another job. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And I literally quit with maybe like 3 clients and I just was just like, nah, I just went for it. And
Nice.
then that, then the Instagram stuff more so started taking off and I started doing more reels and then reels were really, really picking up. TikTok was picking up, but I wasn't really doing TikTok. I still don't to this day do TikTok. I haven't really tapped into that yet. I don't really
Mhm.
feel like I need to. Or want to. It's just another platform I have to deal with, to be honest. And then and then the reels started just going on, and then they started doing more and more, and they got more traction and a lot more followers. And then, but I've always never looked at the followers as like, oh my god, like I just want the followers. Like it's just like follow me for the ego. It wasn't really like that. It was more so like people were genuinely interested in what I was doing. But as well as that was helping that helped my photography business because people were finding me with the exposure and
Yeah.
they were finding me with the growth that I had on Instagram. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. And do you have a preference of photography that you like to take? Do you still love doing your, because I've seen your little like your more personal ones, but in terms of you creating them, do you prefer doing the product photography or doing your things at home, like your lifestyle stuff?
See, I think I'm a photographer through and through, to be honest. Like, I
Yeah,
think,
you still love actually doing it for other people.
yes, yes, yeah. I just do,
Amazing. Right.
yeah, I do the photography as my business. That is
Yeah.
my primary income as well.
Uh-huh.
The reels and the social media, now my photography page has turned into a personal brand page. Essentially,
Yeah, for
it's not my
sure.
photography page anymore. It is, and I talk about it and stuff randomly on stories, but I have another page for photography only because
Yeah,
that's
I
my
see.
business. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I photography like all day. If I got paid from Instagram to make reels, I'd probably be happy with that, but I don't get anything for doing that. So
Yeah, I have heard though, that do you know how Instagram did a Threads app?
yeah.
That like Reels have got so popular that they might actually be doing an app just for Reels.
Well,
And I thought
just
that could be really cool. And
yeah.
I can totally see where that demand could be really successful for Instagram.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me because Instagram wants to be like TikTok with the
yeah,
videos, and because they were just like, oh my God, Instagram, TikTok's picking up, we need to get a wriggle on, and then they started to change the way even their posts look and everything to form into TikTok.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, crazy.
But I think that would be really cool if it was
Yeah,
like Instagram. But that is basically just TikTok. Like
pretty
I
much.
like her out. Like I like Instagram for what it was, like the nostalgia of Instagram. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and I like that you can post photos and memes and stuff on Instagram as well, and have like a story and like a brand and a personality on
Yeah.
Instagram rather than just videos, you know?
Yeah. Me too. Because it's like a more social version of Pinterest. Like they've all got like their own
Yeah.
little cute, unique things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And I think
definitely.
it should just stay how it is, really.
I reckon.
Um, awesome. So, do you know when you've photographed people?
Yeah.
Um, do you ever have to like gas them up at the beginning?
Yes. Oh my God. It's one of my favorite things to do,
Yeah.
honestly.
And I can imagine that you are like the perfect person to like
Yeah.
gas someone up for a photo
Oh my
shoot.
God. Yes. Hype girl for days because I, I know what it's like to feel uncomfortable on that side of the camera. Even to this day, I still don't really know what to do with myself, but I'm a photographer, so I kind of need to know. So
Yeah.
I've worked with really young people. I work with high-end models. I've worked with older women. I've worked with
Amazing.
boomers. I worked with Gen Z. I work with everybody. I work with so many different types of people. And no matter what, I really, like you say, gas, well, so I had to say hype them up, like,
Yeah.
yeah, really just make them feel comfortable. And I always think it's really hard for people to see themselves back on camera as well. So
Mm.
just reassuring them, like, you look good just the way you are. Like, I think you look
Mhm.
great. I love it. I love making them feel good and stand this way. And maybe if you don't like that side, what's your favorite side? Like, and then if someone's like, oh, I don't like my double chin, I will remind them, like, wait, chin, like, put your chin up, and they go, oh, thank you, because stuff like that, you really need to really work with when you're working with a person. You really need to understand how they feel within themselves as well. Yeah.
And do you think people are like good at like telling you all of those things? And like, do you have any like? I know it'll be likely very dependent on the person, but is
Yeah.
there like a common denominator that's like your go-to?
To make them open up.
Yeah, to like just encourage them to be like a bit more like
Yeah,
feeling
actually, yeah,
themselves.
actually, I do just say, usually, just like take a deep breath, like relax.
Yeah.
To a lot of, because some people can be really like, I feel ick, I look ick. Some people just really don't, they just really hate the way that they look on camera.
Hmm.
So yeah, it is just, I don't even know. Again, it's really person dependent as well, and you can't really force someone to, like, you can't force someone to move the way you think they should move,
Yeah.
especially with photography. And like, but you want your clients to look good in their photos, so you're gonna have to prompt them on certain ways and certain poses, like shoulders up, just put your shoulders back and just
Yeah.
take a nice deep breath. put your chin up, look down, like that. I kind of just like the
Uh-huh.
stuff. Yeah, that to make them just look better, and then they can see it, and then you just really really hope that they like their photos, And generally, if it's not my photos, I don't like. It's the way they look and the way they feel. So it's just
Uh-huh.
working with the person.
I guess that can be like quite a difficult conversation sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Or if there's something that they look awkward in, or like I see it from my end, I go, "Oh, that looks really awkward."
Hmm.
I'll generally just ask them to stand another way, or pose a different way, or like say pose for the gram, like pose for the gram.
Yeah.
You got to just really get them loose. Like you got to make people feel loose and like comfortable and juicy in themselves. Otherwise, they just will stiffen up.
Uh-huh. And do you have a favorite pose? Like if we're going for like bad bitch energy, do you have like a favorite pose?
Not really a bad bitch energy one. I think my favorite pose would be one hand hip, one hand
Yeah.
rested, like laughing into the camera, like
Mm,
not like a like a like but really like laugh and like turn into it and like laugh and like tuck their behind and like
stop.
like yeah, kind of like that, like laugh, like smile. You want your customers to see, like you want to be approachable, Smile
Yeah.
into the camera, look into the camera, smile, laugh, move this way, laugh up and out. Don't laugh like backwards. I just love the laughter shots. They're probably my all-time favorite. But if any boss bitch one is just like dead straight, like hands on hips, like shoulders back, like neck up, looking
Yeah.
down gently, like directly into the camera, like chin down. Love that shit too. When it's like serious and you got to be able to pull it off though. It's only or not everyone can pull that look off. Tricky.
But
Yeah.
everyone can pull off the smiling one.
Everybody, yeah.
Have you ever had people on shoots where they've changed their outfit and then all of a sudden, like the whole like vibe, charisma, like they're just feeling themselves a completely different way? And have
Yeah.
you like seen that?
Yeah, you definitely notice when they're wearing something they don't usually wear and they feel uncomfortable and they're, oh, this is too tight, or I would never usually wear this, or I think this is a bit small. But yeah, when they do wear something nice and comfortable, like I had a lady recently as an example, she put on linen pants for the beach and a t-shirt. All her other outfits were high-end businesswoman. And
Yeah.
she still looked amazing. But as soon as she put her linen pants on and put a t-shirt on and her scarf, she was like, I always wear scarves. I'm like, wear your scarf. If you always wear fucking scarves, wear your
Yeah.
scarf. Put her scarf on, walked down the beach, and she was just like hot shit. And her photos were just so fucking good. Like it was awesome. Yeah,
Nice.
I know.
I
So it's
love
usually
that.
comfy at home. It's just depends on the clothes that that particular person genuinely feels comfortable in. It's to me, it's shorts and a t-shirt, pair of sneakers all day long. I will be
Hmm.
happy and feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really beautiful. And I hope that client of yours continues to like keep going into her like comfies that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
still look amazing rather than wearing something that she thinks other people want her to wear or what
Yeah.
she thinks she should wear, but she doesn't like them.
Exactly, exactly. It might look professional and it might look that, but at the end of the day, you as a personal brand, you are your business, and if you will just attract how you feel and how you come across in your in photography, essentially as well. With
Yeah.
what you're wearing, like yeah,
Yeah, and I think it's fantastic how we can like how you can see the massive difference
yeah.
behind the camera and then on the actual photos as well. Like I just
Oh
think
my
that's
God, you
such a
can. You absolutely
skill.
can. Even the way they're smiling, even the way they're looking, like it's so good.
And in terms of like the way they're looking, you obviously look like exceptionally confident. Well, I just think you are confident. And you're like, you don't look confident. It's like Megan is just confident.
Like this, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Have you just always been like that? Like even from like a kid? Was it like I don't want to say like drama schooly, but was you like always quite like extroverted and out there? Or was
Yes.
there a time of
Wait.
your life where you was a bit more reserved at all?
I think I've always been really out there. Even people to this day message me and they haven't seen me since high school. They'll be like, "Oh my God, Meg, you haven't changed a bit." Like even
Yeah.
people from 15 years ago, 20 years ago will be like, "Oh my God, you used to do that when you were a kid or whatever." Yes, I've always been quite. I'm an introvert extrovert, so I can't be around people too long because I'm just drained. And I'm just like I need quiet.
Mhm.
But I'm quite extroverted. Where I also like to take I always like to take control a little bit and take charge a little bit in a group setting because I'm a little bit outspoken, but not in a bad way. Just like I generally have things to say all the time, so I'm just that person. Do you know what I mean? In situations where if someone else is like me or more, the energy is on a higher level, I tend to drop down a couple of notches
Yeah.
and allow them to take that. But I do like keeping conversation rolling. I do like a bit of chaos, and I do like, a bit of fun. So yeah, I've always been like that. And a little bit, maybe it just comes from a little bit of a control thing as well. I don't actually know. I just like to make sure everything's not controlling, but everything's in order. Everything we are going to have a situation under control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's more. I think the word control has such a negative connotation to it sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think it is. I think it's just like predicting some element of certainty in a way that's ordered that
Yeah.
other people can also follow. And it's
Yes.
clear in your mind. And let's say if you're on holiday, on a girl's holiday, and nobody's like taking the lead of like making a plan. Like we all want to go out, but no
Yeah.
one's taking the lead on where to go, what to do, how to get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I think it's a very caring thing to
Yeah.
take on that responsibility and kind of do it for everyone.
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
it's an act of love.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree
Massively.
because you don't want to control anybody.
No,
Exactly like you said, you just
but
want to,
it's going.
yes, order. You want to keep things rolling. You want to, yeah, 100%. That's exactly the way you explained it. Yeah,
Yeah. And as
love
well,
that.
like, I don't want to go off too much of a tangent here, but I think sometimes, like, because, like, I was an exchange student and stuff, and, like, yeah, but, like, all the girls and boys that we was with, they just couldn't plan anything or,
Yeah,
like, do anything. So every single day, I was one, like, calling the taxis, like, doing all of these things and, like, planning out just, like, simple things as, like, going to lunch or
yeah,
like
yeah,
being back by a specific time so we could
yeah,
get that seminar. And like it just boggled my mind how like people just couldn't do that.
yeah. I
And
know.
I think it was maybe just because their parents are more involved or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I don't know, it just boggled my mind how there was just nothing there. I was
yeah. I
like
know.
that
I know. Sometimes it takes a Type A personality to take the lead. Essentially, yes.
yeah. And I never ever saw myself as any kind of like, I never saw myself as that person able to
Yeah,
do those things. I never saw myself as like this, like, independent whatever, because
yeah,
that saying just wasn't even really around then anyway.
yeah.
But I can remember so clearly being like, holy shit. And it was kind of a bit overwhelming as well, because I was there for a little while. I was like, shit, I feel like there's so much responsibility and like,
Oh my god, because now everyone's looking at you. Everyone's like, okay, what do we do
kind
next?
of. Like I can remember at one point we was all sat in like the reception bit, and everyone just turned to me, and I was like, "Oh well,
Great.
guess I'll do that then." So yeah, I don't think it's control. I think it is love, and I think when we're good at it,
Yeah. Why not do it? I suppose it's like
yeah,
it's take the lead. We're going to handle the situation.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
and you guys just follow along and then add your own little bits to it.
Yeah. I get you. I get you.
Nice. So, what we see is valuable. Has there been specific content that you have developed for them that made customers see them as more valuable? So, kind of
Huh.
like the perception of value and then how that
I,
person essentially.
I suppose when they get their images and their content from me, they would certainly see that's another side of them.
Yeah.
I think, which then in turn boosts your confidence within yourself, which
Mm.
then boosts confidence in your business. But I do know people who I've seen evolve from a certain way to who they are now and how much more successful they are because of how much they've found themselves in their own style.
Yes.
So 100% I've seen that. I've seen that with even like people in photography,
Uh huh.
like photography friends I've seen that in, as well as other clients I've worked with over the years. Oh, and I've seen them and I've seen how much they've had to change though to get to where they actually are happy to be as well. That makes sense. So like I've had clients rebrand and they want another shoot and they go, I'll rebrand it again. Can I have another shoot? I'm like, absolutely. And how much they've changed over, say, 4 years in total, how much they've changed to how they are now and how much more confident and happy they are now within themselves, for sure.
Love that.
I have seen it with a few people now that I think about it. Like, I'm like, oh, wow, okay. And whether they've seen themselves in, say, a photo or content, and then they go, oh, you know what, I'm going to change that about myself, or I'm going to be happier here if I
Yeah.
change, evolve a little bit, because I don't really like that. I want to be more myself.
Have you yourself ever had like a brand change as well?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. Quite a bit, because you do initially feel like, especially when you're new to business, you do feel like you have to be seen a certain way, or you need to have certain branding photos, you need to have a certain look, or wear certain things. But now, like my website now it took me 2 years to work on that and to keep coming back to it and to keep constantly changing it. And
Yeah.
then and until it got to a point where, my God, like I even look back at my old logos and I'm just like, was I high when I did that? But you just change, you just change and you evolve. And now where I'm at now, you know what? Maybe in a few years again, I will change. I feel like I'm constantly evolving. I feel like at each stage I've had it, even my life and my style choices or my business branding in particular, it's constantly evolving. And I feel like even in a year or two's time, it might be different again.
Yeah.
But I also think that's okay, because you are just genuinely evolving and you're staying with. So yeah, but yeah, long story short, sorry, my website now, my branding photos now are just so me, and it's just what it is. What you see is what you get, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing hidden behind those branding images. You're not going to be like, oh wow, she looks fun and happy and bubbly, and then you see her in person and you're just like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you don't, yeah, you don't want to come across as that. And so when you again are, say, if you are getting your photos done or you are branding yourself out, you have to stick true to yourself, because if you are acting a certain way or your photos tell a different story, but you're really not that, then that's
Mm.
you're confusing yourself, really, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as well, like whatever your like little unique things are, let's say you are like a raging introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't really like speaking that much. There are so many clients out there that also feel exactly the same
Yeah.
and would really appreciate being in that environment where it's not all like wow, and it's
Yeah.
much more like slow pace,
Yeah.
calm conversations.
Yes. Yes,
So
because
yeah,
you attract what you put out also, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
literally, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I love
Good
that.
question.
If you do you know the women, sorry, not the women, but like the people that you receive who give you negative feedback about their appearance on their photos,
Yeah.
what do you kind of say to them? Do you like take a step back? And if you could say anything and you haven't because of like professional reasons or whatever, what would be like one thing you wish that everybody sort of believed about themselves, or you could just like actually say with no strings attached?
Yeah, person, I'd say you look fucking hot. What are you talking about? And
Yeah.
like you look so good. Like, do you know, you got your hair and makeup did, you're like wearing a sweet outfit. You obviously like wearing it. You look whatever you're comfortable or not. And if I've seen, like, just as of recently this year, I shot a woman. She was so cool. I thought she looked so pretty. And she looked at her photo. She's like, I don't like that. Like, she's like, I got a vein there. Oh, look at my, oh, no, retake it, retake it. And she kept saying, I don't like it. She's like, oh, it's not your photo. I just don't like it. She's like, oh, nah, my smile. What's wrong with my smile? Why is my smile all messed up? I was like, I think that's a really lovely photo. I think you look really nice. And I would just reassure them that, like, I always say to people, I say, we always, whenever we see ourselves on camera, it's quite daunting at first. You go, oh, because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't think I looked like that. I look different in the mirror than how I do on camera, you
Mhm.
know? So I generally just like say to them, I'm like, you look fucking great. Like, you look amazing. Like, you cannot tell me you do not look good. So I reassure them. I don't lie to people. If I think the photo looks shit, I'll be like, it's fine. We'll just retake it. Like, we'll
Yeah.
keep trying. We'll keep trying. So I just like to reassure people that looking at themselves in photos, especially for the first time, is quite like, ooh, it's funky. And then look back at them maybe later and keep looking back through them. You'll find that you like them. But yeah, I would say to people that you look great.
Yeah.
Just give them that little boost of confidence, because that's kind of just all they need sometimes, to know that like your flaws, I can't see your flaws. Like, I can't see
Mhm.
all the flaw, like things that I might not like about myself. Like you don't notice them, but I notice them, you know? So I do reassure people that as well. Like you might think that I can't see that vein on your face. You can
Yeah.
see it, but I can't see it. You know what I mean?
It
So
wasn't something that stood out.
yes, again, yes, exactly. Again, it is very client dependent as well, and what I kind of just vibe off other people's vibes. I don't like to make anyone feel uncomfortable either. Like, yeah, if someone's like, usually I'm quite rough and swear. I just kind of quite myself. But if I notice someone's not like that, a bit more held back, I will just allow them to just to feel the feels, you know, and just reassure them they look great. Yeah,
Yeah. I love
yeah,
that. That's really nice. Yeah. Because I think it is so scary on both sides
yeah,
in a way, because nobody wants to offend each other. But sometimes if you are that like uncomfortable, you just want to like crawl away and like avoid this whole situation.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I think it's nice to have yourself say them sort of things, to be like, I am not noticing those things about you. I'm gonna match the vibe, and you're gonna look phenomenal regardless. Like,
yeah. I think so. I think you're gonna look great no matter what. And you know what? If you fucking really hate them that much, the photos, then I can't physically do anything about someone else's insecurity levels, because we all
yeah,
have insecurities, you know? So if they really didn't want to use the photos, I don't really ever take it personally,
uh huh,
because like yes, I work with people's angles and positionings and how they like to look in their photos. So if they really don't like them, then that just probably comes down to something within themselves,
uh huh,
which is normal. It's very normal. Yeah.
yeah. Have you ever had like your own insecurities that you didn't like on camera
Oh my
that
God,
you've
yes.
then been able to like completely accept? And did you know
Yes.
how you did it, or did it just happen with time?
It just comes with just a lot of stop caring. But again, I've always felt in my own photos, I have a thing with chins. I'm like, if my friend's taking photos of me, I'm like, just tell me chins, just chins.
Mhm.
That's it. And they usually do go, oh, lift your chin up, and then they'll send me a photo when I have a double chin or something, and they're just like. I'm just like, did you have to send me that photo of when I have a double chin? But they don't see it because I see it. So it comes down to now just accepting that sometimes photos are going to be shit of it. So now
Mhm.
I see the good in the good, and then when I notice the bad, I'm just like, in the bin. I don't have to come back to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that photo looks like shit. I look like shit in that photo or that video. I might look a bit weird, and that's kind of all really it is. I just don't like I just don't like some like I don't really like side profile, like certain side. We all have it. I don't care what anyone says. We all have something we just don't want, that no one else sees, but we see. But I generally just, I would, if someone was to send me photos of myself or I see photos of myself, I just go, it's not the greatest photo of me. Like, so what? There's gonna be
yeah.
nice.
It's more objective about the photo than you as a person.
Yeah, yeah. So I am so accepting of the way I look, you know, and the way I am, and I like that feeling of being true to yourself and changing something if you don't bloody like it. If you're feeling fat, then you can do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, like you can do things about things, like, you know,
Uh huh.
we're in control when it comes to that. But yeah, it's definitely just accepting it. The images that sometimes you can look shit in an image, and then sometimes you can look freaking great. But
Yeah.
yeah, someone sends me a photo and they go, "Oh my God, man, you look so pretty, you look so nice," and I'm just like, "Next." And then they send me another one. I'm just like, "Oh, that's better. I like that one." You know?
Like, we're feeling that one.
Yeah, exactly. We all have a photo we kind of feel a bit more than the other.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
that. It's all about like your angles and stuff. That's funny.
Yeah.
I actually wonder, because I've never done a like an intentional photography session much.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to know like some of the things that I pinpointed about myself.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Because I
Yeah.
do have like a mole here. And when I was younger, I used to hate it. I used to think it was
Okay.
like the most massive thing ever. I honestly, it was crazy. Like I used to try and cut it off.
Oh my
Like
God.
I know it was so weird. And then I can remember like when I started doing this YouTube channel, I was like writing down all the things that I like questioned about my appearance and stuff,
Wow.
just as like an exercise. And I was like, I can remember as a kid, I used to be obsessed with this mole, and obviously now like I don't know, I think it hurt so bad once when I was like picking at it that I stopped
Wow.
picking it for a while,
Oh my
and then
God.
like, I know that's so random though, isn't it?
It
But I would
is.
always notice them on other people's necks as well, and I'd be like,
Wow. But no
yeah,
one would probably notice yours, and if even if they did notice it, they
it's
would.
tiny. Can you see it?
It's tiny. It's freckles.
It's so small.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 100%. No one would even second look that. But again, we know the things that within us that we don't like, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying. I think I'm trying to like. I'm on a mission to find out why and how they're created and how you can like eradicate them.
Yes,
Because I
yes.
do think it would be amazing for humanity if there was just like a thing, like a strategy of like how to just not be like all like I'm gonna tell myself I love my mom, but like
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
understanding some sort of on some scientific
Yeah,
level.
like where it comes
What's
from.
like
Yeah.
because it's just, I genuinely find the way that we view ourselves and the way we see ourselves and other people the most fascinating thing
Yeah.
to ever ponder thought on. Or like
Yeah.
how we
No.
see certain things as valuable and other things not as valuable. And like
Yeah.
our whole branding system in
Yeah.
our sort of like
Yeah.
cultures.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just find it the most mind boggling concept.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Yeah.
But I like but I think it's great. But I also just think it's wild, you
I
know?
know it is. It really is wild. Like
So
where does it stem? How does it stem? Where does it coming from? How do we get rid of it?
yeah, literally.
How do we slowly eventually just kind of work it? Yeah. I don't
When
know.
I
I
figure
think
it out, I'll tell you.
thank you. Yes. It's something to do with our minds.
Yeah, just like
It's
a
how we're
mind
wired.
reprogram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's like a lot of programs and stuff out there called like Rewired, and they do a lot of like thinking about stories of yourself. But I
Yeah.
think because like that woman might have thought something was weird about her veins. Somebody
Yeah.
might have ever said something, and then
Yeah.
like like there are random or like somebody said something about somebody else's veins, and then she picked it up. Like
Yes.
this could go on for like what if, what if, what if.
Exactly. It's something that someone. It's definitely something in passing. It has to be like, for example, someone who I think again, social media has a lot to do with it, but just in general, probably more so. It's probably going to get worse with AI and stuff like thinking a way you should look, or thinking like I shouldn't have that vein because that person who's really beautiful doesn't have that vein. So why do I have that vein? Ew, like that kind of. I think there's a lot of emotion around it with general humanity and other people who might seem really perfect and beautiful, and then you don't feel perfect and beautiful because you have something that's different compared to them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's that as well. I honestly just, yeah, yeah. It's
Have you
comparison,
ever
really.
seen the it's not that popular, but I really like it and I just saw it very recently. And it was like a cupcake and it was like smiling. And then it was like a photo and it's like a cupcake next to like a three-tier cake. It was just like this like viral
Oh, okay.
post that went on Instagram. So it's like you're happy with your cupcake. You're like, look at the cupcake. And then when
Oh,
you compare your cupcake to like a three-tiered cake, you're like,
on the cat.
"Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But like actually just the cupcake itself is like amazing, cute, yay. But
Yes.
then next to the thing it's like, oh, well I'm not grand and I'm not this and I'm not that and I don't have three tiers. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like such a beautiful representative of like self comparison.
Yeah,
And I think
definitely.
when it comes to our own physical body on things that we cannot change, something
Yes.
like I mean, a lot of things we can change with like
Yeah.
plastic surgery and stuff,
Yeah.
but like the width of our shoulders is very
Yeah.
unlikely that we're going to be able to change that. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
the only way is to reheal the narrative in our minds
Exactly. And to
about it.
accept that even the most perfect looking people aren't like, there's no such thing as perfect. You know
No,
what I mean? Like there's not, because even if someone is this, like, what is, I can't even explain to me what is perfect. Like there is
yeah,
no,
like what is beauty?
because even Barbie, like just let's use Barbie the doll as an example. Like she might look perfect, but like she might hate her toes. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it doesn't matter how grand you are. There's got to be something about you that's in society not perfect. Yeah,
yeah. Or in like your own lens,
yes,
like, you always want something
it's
else.
boggling. Yeah, yeah, it is boggling.
Yeah. I love that. So, do you have a favorite life quote or life mantra that you kind of live by? No?
No,
Go on.
it's kind of a backwards because sometimes I don't. But if anything, it's she'll be right.
It'll all be all right.
She'll be right. Okay, it's this Australian thing. Have you ever heard it?
Kind of, yeah.
But yeah, so it's
Yeah.
she'll be right. She'll be
Like
right.
about yourself.
No, it could be general. Like, oh, she'll be right. Like it's raining, but I needed to go to the shop, so she'll be right. I'll go anyway. That's
Love it.
shit. Or
No, I think
it,
it's good. I like it.
it's kind of just, oh my god, it really is an Australian thing then. Okay, what's another way of explaining it? Like, it'll be fine. It'll be
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Yeah, so we say like she'll be right.
She'll be
I
read.
think that's a good one.
Love that.
Or it is what it is.
Uh-huh.
I really like that because that's something you almost can't change. Like it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it
Yeah.
is.
I love that. One of my friends always says, "What can you do?
Mm,
What
mm,
can you do?"
mm.
And I like that question, that like phrase a little bit more, because
Yeah.
then sometimes when somebody's explaining like a dodgy circumstance, what can you do? And I think sometimes little solutions can actually pop up, and you're like, "Well, what about this? Could you try this?" And da, 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 da.
I like that.
Well,
What could
I think so. But like this saying does come from like it is what it is.
you can't
But I,
change?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
where
it
it comes.
sounds like, what can you do? What can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do?
yeah.
Instantly, I think if you're speaking to a person who's like very problem solvy,
Yeah.
they'll be like, well, you could actually do this or something. Do
Yes,
you know
that's
what I
very
mean?
very true. That is very very true. I think
Yeah,
when you
love
say like it is what it is, you can't. That's a situation you can't change. It's a
that.
situation that it's done.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened. You stop dwelling on it because it is what it is. It is essentially what it is. There's
Yeah,
no changing a current circumstance or a past situation because it is what it is. It's
yeah,
done. You know?
dusted.
Pretty much. Should be right. What do you say? You're like, she'll be right. She'll be sorry.
Oh, I
Let's try and do your accent.
wait. She'll be re.
She'll be
So like, I've like lived up north in like a few other places, and they say like instead of like all right,
yeah,
they say
right.
re. You're re.
Really? Oh, isn't it like right? Like all right? Where's that? Is that UK English, isn't it?
Yeah, like all right.
Yeah, 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 you right. Yeah.
But like some people were like, wait, all right.
Really? All right.
She'll be right. Wait, I can't. I've lost
And
it.
Irish.
She'll be right. She'll be no. She'll be right. She'll be right.
Right. Can you say
I'm
it in
like,
the
she'll be right.
oh,
She'll be right. No, she'll be right.
you gotta slow it down a little bit. She'll
She'll
be
be
right.
right. She'll be right.
Yeah, she'll be
Like,
right. Yeah, so it's like right.
right,
Different
right.
spelling. Right. Yes, you got it. You got it. Right.
Right.
Yeah, right.
People
Yeah.
start
That's it.
giving me some poses like your Beyonce.
Yeah. Right.
And
Right.
shake it.
Yes. You be good. Really good at it.
Like
Yeah,
being the gas person up the side, like, come on, people.
yeah, yeah. Move, move. Yeah.
Give me some more spice.
Yes.
One of my dreams, actually, I'd love to take women on like a big group fashion trips
Oh wow.
and like have them all in changing rooms and then have like a photographer. I mean, I just wish this existed anyway. Had like a photographer in the changing room and you were like,
Yes. That'd
you
be
know,
yes.
that'd be cute.
Oh my god,
That's what like I'd actually really love to host.
that'd be yes.
I don't know how. Well, I do know how. I've written like a few plans, but I just think that'd be like such good vibes, such good
It would be
energy.
nice.
And then, like, could you imagine just like walking, like the promo for that brand?
Oh my
If
god,
there's all
yes.
just there, just like walking out of the changing room, like looking, like picking up the next outfit.
And getting like cool photos of that, like,
It'd just
and
be
then
so
being able to
sick.
keep the photos for yourself and look back at them and just like, yeah,
Yeah. With like complete strangers. With
yeah.
like 5 or 6 other women that you just never even knew existed. I know. I
I'll
think
do
so
it.
too.
Make it happen.
I'll send brands this video, be like, so
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly.
can we do
Um,
this?
yeah,
I think it'll be grand.
it will be.
Megan, Shell is so late for you.
Okay,
I am just so grateful that you're here. I feel like even at the end of the day, you've just got such amazing vibes, and I just think you're incredible. I just think you're absolutely awesome.
so you're Tegan.
Yes. So I
I'm
don't have very.
I'm
Yeah.
me. I'm Megan.
Oh, there's Megan.
No, I get called Megan by Americans and English people because it's kind of like Meghan Markle, but it's actually me. I'm actually Megan, like
Oh,
Tegan. Yeah, yeah, Megan. So you say Tegan, you say Megan.
yeah.
Yeah, Tegan and Megan. But yeah, yeah.
Love that.
There you go.
That's
But you can call me
amazing.
Megan. I don't mind.
No, I
I,
like Megan.
yeah,
Megan.
Megan. Yeah. Oh, I just go by Meg.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meg's like I rarely hear. I mean, only Josh, my partner, calls me Megan.
Okay.
Megan. Yeah.
Megan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
love that.
Megan. Very Australian.
My
Meg.
like A.
Like if you're very Australian, you say Megan.
Ooh.
Like Tegan, Tegan, Megan.
I love that. That's great. I've been called Tigan a few times.
I see why. Tegan, yeah. Tegan. Tegan. Yes.
Tigan.
Thanks,
But
love.
I love that like dark Australian like.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, Tegan. There you go. Tegan. Yeah, you do it really well. Tegan. Wait, Tegan. Yeah, it's very Australian.
Oh, thank you. My Australian has improved.
It has improved very quickly. I'm impressed.
Nice. I've enjoyed this so much.
Me too. I enjoyed chatting and answering your amazing questions that I really got me thinking. So thank you.
Good. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, come back and things have probably changed again. I probably will be wearing more decent clothing. We can switcheroo. I can do you at night and I can be day.
Yes.
Imagine I'm gonna say, imagine the vibe difference. I don't think it'd be much different. I think it'd be same. Even though we're on the
Yeah.
opposite sides of the world in completely different time zones. How cool's that?
I think it's awesome. I think
pretty
it's
cool.
brilliant. And then, do you know what I love the most is like the fact that like we've still experienced like similar things, or at least can have like a really nice conversation about something when neither of us have ever met each other.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were called Megan.
There you go. Now you know. I'm called Megan and you're Tegan.
And I just think it's nice that for a full hour we can like just talk about forever. And we could have probably continued for like another 3 hours or something. You know what I mean? Like I just think it's so
There's no-
nice.
It's the Tegan Megan thing. It's a vibe.
Get on our vibe, guys.
Yes. Well, actually, I'm actually quite flattered you even asked me. I was like, oh, this. I got your email. And I was like, I didn't know. Actually, I didn't know at first whether it was. I get emails like this daily.
Yeah.
And generally, I know when they're like just people reaching out like through agencies, like collaborations and stuff. But I saw your email and I was like, oh, is this what's. And I actually did. I started reading. I was like, oh, I think. Oh, this chick's legit. Like, she actually legit wants to just interview me. People
Yeah.
would usually message me on Instagram. Usually, I've done so many different podcasts for people and Zoom chats and all sorts of things like over the years. So yeah, it's funny because it's usually through Instagram, but when it's through email, that's kind of when I kind of go, oh, what's this? So you can just send me. Have you ever messaged me on Instagram before?
I tend not to, because even on my own Instagram,
Yeah.
because I had like a small fashion business for a little while.
Yeah.
Where I was doing like CADs and tech packs for like fashion brands, helping them get
Yeah.
into production. And like even like it was like a micro Instagram page.
Yeah.
And even then I'll just have like so many random, especially from like manufacturers, and then my
Ah.
WhatsApp would blow up, and it would just be so annoying. So I just went straight to email. But then
Yeah.
even again, like even on my own email, I have like where's my Gmail gone? I don't know where it is. Yeah, like I have like 70,100 and like it just kills me. So like for this YouTube channel, like yesterday I actually made like a new email just to then
Oh, cool.
be able to because that was like my Tig's portfolio what I emailed you on. That's
Yeah.
when like the fashion business, and I'd just get like swamped with
Wow. Yeah, true.
emails, and like I'd be on forums like of like fabric suppliers and stuff like that, so it would just be like
God.
constant.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting something into production is the most stressful thing you could ever imagine.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I was like, oh god, I'm fucking hectic. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get you.
so
I get you. But yeah,
I'm
no,
glad I gave you
that's,
legit vibes.
you did. You gave legit vibes. You gave
Good,
me legit vibes, and I read it, and I was like, yes,
good.
absolutely. Because this chick's it's just lose, really. You know, like it's
Yeah, it has
yeah.
been fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it,
Yeah. Now I have a
and I
friend in the.
genuinely.
I said now I have a friend in the UK called Tegan.
Literally, like the pen pal I never had.
Right?
Literally. Do you ever work with international clients, by the way?
I do. I have before. Yes, yes.
Sick.
I recently have done like products for a brand in America. Yeah, I've done some UK. I've actually worked with some UK people. Actually, really just depends what you
Nice.
need. But obviously, you can't do Zoom photography. That'd be weird. Like, okay, all right, smile. Yeah, because you can't do that. You can. I've done
I
lots of.
love the screenshot here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. Now move that way. All right. Smile. Oh my God. Could you imagine?
That would actually be
People
funny.
have sent me things from overseas before to take photos of. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's sick. That's so nice. I love that. Love that so much for you. Same.
Have a cup of tea and go to bed.
Yeah, I am due a brew as well.
Drew brew, yeah.
Okay, Megan, this was absolute Megan. Okay,
Yeah.
Megan. This is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. You enjoyed your brew.
No worries.
Take
Mwah.
care. Bye.